So I could not tell you guys how excited I was to bring you this. This is the review of the Fall Cybertron Japanese version of Ultra Magnus, also known as TG11, and the paint job on this guy is killer, along with his accessories. So as usual, let's just give you a quick overlook of the box. You know, promos down here, some nice shots. The downside is I kind of wish I could read the bio, but overall the artwork is not bad for the box. I always dig kind of the little you know, stuff on the sides, you know, and obviously the artwork up at the top here is really kind of cool, matching the one on the side. So anyway, let's get this guy out of his package and look at this awesome figure already. And here's Ultra Magnus out of his package, obviously. And I must say that between him and Prime, I think his color scheme looks really good on this mold over Prime's even. You know, if you look at it more, you can tell that the dark metallic blues are obviously standing out different from the lighter blues back here. But, I mean, it doesn't look bad. And really all the little bit of details that Takara put into this version are not that bad. Now, one thing I do want to bring out is if you look, you can see that the front and the back are obviously moving on both sides. There we go. And the middle one is staying rather static. So what the deal is even collapsing this part down as far as it can go back here, following the instructions, it doesn't, on a flat surface, it just doesn't want to roll, obviously. I mean, you can see, not doing it. But if you were to place this thing on carpet, sure enough, the carpet is raised enough that the middle wheel will roll. Not really a big complaint, I just thought it was kind of interesting. Now, like Optimus, he does come with this path blaster, which you can fit in here in all different, you know, ways and such. It's not, I always thought it was kind of ridiculous, but if you can, you know, fit the gun in the deal and position it just right, you know, personally, I'm not going to do it unless I just need to for storage, or I just, you know, want to have something different looking. I like the truck by itself. You can even have the sword that he comes with plug in here on these ports on either side. I think that looks even worse than the gun, obviously. Don't get me wrong, I love Hasbro's attempt to give us some storage for the stuff that comes with these guys, but overall I think the truck itself just looks better like this. And here's a comparison between Ultra Magnus and Air Raid, and you can kind of see that Air Raid is a little bit longer than Ultra Magnus, but this mold, ever since it was used as Optimus Prime, has been shorter and smaller in vehicle mode than, excuse me, than a lot of the deluxe class figures anyway. But it's not really a big deal. They both look cool. And I mean, if you were to display these guys on a shelf next to each other, I think they would look good, like this even. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that in there. And here we clearly have Ultra Magnus in his robot mode, armed and ready to take on some Decepticons. And I have to say, he looks really, really, really cool. And I have to say, I'm loving the fact, I don't know why it didn't come with Optimus, but this has been a trend. If you saw my other videos, I mentioned that all these remolds, repaints, you know, whatever you want to call them, they all come with secondary accessories that did not come with the first release. This is obviously a repaint of the Wave 1 Optimus Prime. And whether it's the Takara or the Hasbro version, you know, they're going to have their original release. This came with Optimus Prime, this rifle. He didn't come with the sword. I don't care. I have Ultra Magnus now, I have the sword. Excuse me there for a second. So anyway, yeah, I mean, just Ultra Magnus, the overall aesthetic and look of Ultra Magnus, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the colors, maybe it is just what he came with accessory-wise. He looks better than Optimus Prime. I mean, I couldn't have gotten my Fall Cybertron Optimus Prime to look this cool for whatever reason. But I have to say, I mean, obviously, the metallic blues, I don't even mind the pink because it looks you know, it keeps the aesthetic of the game. I mean, look at every little bit that is highlighted in pink on this guy. I mean, under the right lights, he could glow like in the game. I mean, even on the insides of his legs. I mean, that's crazy. And to me, I don't know, maybe when I go back and edit this later, it looks pink on the camera, but I swear to you, it is red. Like, this sword is red, and there are other, yeah, they don't look as kind of flat as they do now. Yes, he is amazing. I mean, I don't know why I'm so excited, but you look at the amount of detail, and even on the wheels. Look at that. You know, Takara simply does have the better gig going on here. Wow, yeah, it just looks cool. All right, figure. That's kind of just a quick little overview of him. The head sculpt is amazing on this guy. You know, obviously they're keeping with the G1 aesthetic of Ultra Magnus. You know, on Optimus Prime, these stacks flip back, and as far as I know, they still do on Ultra Magnus. However, on Ultra Magnus, to keep in line with a more G1-esque look, he just looks better with the smokestacks up. You know, I keep looking at this thing, and I keep seeing the pieces of Optimus, but overall, I think the design does flow better with Ultra Magnus. I mean, there's... I mean, I think that's what's partially what's so striking about it and makes it kind of cool. Now, one of the big things I was talking about was as far as with his accessories. You know, they look cool on their own. They stand their own test. One thing that is interesting about it, and if you watch other reviews, they'll show you this too, is this sword actually will break apart, and you can add the gun to it to make it more of a larger sword. And this is Ultra Magnus with a big sword of judgment, or whatever you want to call it. Actually, I mean, it makes it a little bit bigger, and I don't even mind it, honestly. I mean, he holds it well enough. His arm doesn't droop. I mean, yeah, it's not symmetrical when you look at it. I mean, well, I guess it kind of is. Just anyway, yeah, I mean, it doesn't look totally silly with him. I mean, I'm down with it. Whatever, that's cool. You know, I'm not too crazy about the gun, so having it as part of his sword, you know, hey, more power to it. That's cool. Anyway, like I keep saying about this figure, just one thing after another keeps amusing me about it. And so anyway, I kind of figured that Ultra Magnus and Air Raid might be buddies, because you know, if you see my Air Raid review, look at the long, ridiculous sword that he has. So I mean, you know, him and Magnus, they kind of have a common ground here. So no, but seriously, you know, you can kind of see the Air Raid. If we stand Magnus up here straight and everything, I think probably just because of his antennas, he may be just, I mean, like barely taller than Air Raid. So when he's standing straight up. So I mean, you know what? These guys actually don't look bad together. Anyway, if you can spring for this version, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna give my recommendation for it hands down. I think it's probably quite a vast improvement over the Hasbro release. I've never had the Hasbro release, but just looking at the comparison shots you can find on, you know, the internet, this one's obviously, you're gonna get more bang for your buck. It's same mold, same everything, but the aesthetic look of it is what sells it. I mean, that's it, pure and simple. So anyway, this has been Transformers Reviews of TG11 Ultra Magnus. And anyway, stay tuned for more reviews.